This is Spotlight Omaha. Spotlight Omaha is a local podcast that highlights local businesses and influential movers and shakers in the Omaha business community. Spotlight Omaha is brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. Now, from the Pyramid Contractor Studios, the host of Spotlight Omaha, Jimmy Allen.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome inside the Spotlight Omaha podcast, where we take you around the city of Omaha, introduce you to local business owners, influential figures, and people who are making an impact on our community. We are brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. If you need help with search engine optimization, website design, or you want a whole team to help with your social media presence online, check out pixelfiremarketing.com for more details today. Joining us inside the Pyramid Contractor Studio is Matt Beers with Factory of Omaha. Matt, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Wow, thanks for having me. You're good at that intro stuff. You are like a pro.
I have to ask, did any part of you want to become a brewer before you started the Closet Factory? Because, I mean, with a name like Beers, just kind of went hand in hand.
You know, that's so wild. Nobody has ever asked me that
I
before.
feel like that's very much sarcasm.
College was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should have been a brewer.
Sure.
It would have made it a lot easier.
Never too late.
Yeah,
Never too late.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, what is Closet Factory of Omaha? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, so we build custom storage solutions at our client's direction.
Sure.
And so we're a local company. It is a franchise, but we are locally owned and operated. We're a family business. My wife, Shelby, and I.
Who pretended to be sick not to be here today, but we'll let it slide.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, honey. Love you. But I think the cool thing about what we do, the thing that I love, is we get to be creative because it's from start to finish. So we have designers that go into the home or the business and design the space to make it perfectly fit what our clients are looking for. And then we build it. We actually have a shop or a factory close to here, actually.
Sure.
Where we go from raw materials to parts and pieces, and then we take it to the space and our people actually install it as well.
This is a secret location. Please don't let people know where. No,
Yeah, absolutely. No, I sworn to secrecy.
The franchise model is one that's becoming a really interesting topic, specifically in this room, because obviously there's franchise fees and things that come along with it, but there's so many positives that people talk glowingly about, whether it be having a network to bounce things off of, finding out where people have failed, where people have had success. How has Closet Factory kind of helped you, your team, and your family in that aspect?
I mean, we would have been.
Seems like a lot by that response.
we would have been dead in the water inside of 3 months.
Sure.
Had it not been for the franchise.
Do you feel comfortable sharing why?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a recovering realtor.
Okay.
Actually still recovering. But when we got started, it's so funny because I thought I was going to be like, oh, I've finished a basement before.
Sure.
I know a little bit of construction. I'm pretty handy.
Yeah.
I had no idea, dude. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And so,
is that where the designers kind of help overcome a little bit too?
Well, the designers are great. I do some designing myself.
Sure.
The designers are great because they're the soldiers in the field.
Yeah.
Right. They're going out, they're measuring, they're talking to our clients, they're getting inspiration, they're figuring out, what we do and how that can help the clients.
Yeah.
And then they're also using the software, which is fairly complicated, but it's a CAD software program,
right? Just
like your home builders would use, obviously tailored to closets and that sort of thing. But where the franchise has helped it mostly with is, you talk to a lot of business owners here. The number one thing is like running a business, looking at the numbers, making sure you're hitting your KPIs
it's a lot
everywhere.
More than just for finishing a basement.
Well, yeah, exactly. And also for, actually using the system that we use, which is kind of unique, what are the ins and outs of that? What are the details that we don't know?
Sure.
There was so much I didn't know.
You purchased this company 2 years ago, or going on 2 years ago.
Yeah, close to 2 years.
Why was it the right time, and why was Closet Factory of Omaha or Closet Factory the right franchise for you guys to purchase?
That's a good question. So, Shelby and I were both in real estate, and we had some rental properties, and I'm very conservative investor, and as you know, after COVID hit, it was like I wish there was a better story, but
Sure.
Really it was about I couldn't find a good investment where the numbers would make sense to my very conservative nature.
In that economic state, yeah.
Yeah. And a buddy of mine, Mitch Waite, actually, I don't know.
Shout out to Mitch.
You know Mitch? Yeah.
Nope, but we'll give him a shout out anyway.
Give him a shout out. He was working with a business broker.
Okay.
And he said, you got to call this guy. It's another great idea for an investment. And so we called him. We had no idea what we were looking for. We thought, well, home services makes sense. We have a good network in the home services arena. We know people in those areas. And so about 2 years later, this one came up, and it's just seemed like a really cool concept.
Yeah, I love the idea.
People have if you look at real estate, like look at how quickly the storage unit concept is growing.
Yeah, and I don't want to bury anybody or make it seem like there's people out there not doing things the right way, but like sometimes when you're talking about real estate, it's 4 walls, a coat of paint, and let's sell it as fast as we can, right?
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you wanted to get away from?
I did real estate for 20 years.
Sure.
And so I think I loved it. I loved working with people. That, as is with anything, there are things that are difficult. The market was getting difficult.
Usually the people.
Well, the people, yeah, the people are the best part and the worst part,
Sure.
right? All at the same time, and sometimes in the same day. So yeah, I mean that's part of it. I was in my I don't blame the industry for this.
Sure.
This is on me, but I felt like I didn't have a creative spark. It just felt like,
sure.
okay, you're 40 now. Like
Sometimes
what
it's
else is out
decimals
there?
and that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, it's like we moved on to something where we can have a little bit more creative spark.
I want to get to that in a minute, but I want to talk about you personally because from Omaha State graduate. You guys manufacture all your jobs right here in Omaha as well after you book them. Why is that such a big deal for you?
Oh man, born and raised.
Sure.
Love this town. I love how many people move away from Omaha and then eventually come
right
back.
Yeah.
It's like, what, if you've been around the country, it's like, why?
Guilty, by the way.
Yeah, right? Why do
lived in Daytona Beach for a year? It was
awesome.
Great for 9 months. Yeah.
And I'm sure people are like, why'd you come back here?
Yep.
Omaha's great. And like you said earlier, it's about the people. The people are awesome here. You go around the country. I asked my fellow franchisees, and there's 61 around the country. And I always tell them, like, the people here is what makes a difference.
I agree with that.
Nebraska nice,
100% of the reason why we do this podcast too, as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it though. You guys don't only do closets, but you do pantries, and there's this fad sweeping the nation of the hidden pantry, right?
Oh man,
it's built into the cabinets. Looks like just a door. You open up the pantries there. Is that something you guys are seeing blossoming and growing still to this day?
It's huge. Yeah. The wow factor, right? Go back to real estate. You want to have those wow factors, and the hidden pantry is definitely a wow factor.
Sure.
The walk-in pantry.
Great.
They're even saying butler's pantry.
Oh, okay.
If you want to get real bougie.
You got a mother-in-law suite and a butler's pantry. You probably made it, right?
Yes, that's it. American dream.
You guys are also helping sculpt the laundry room and changing the functionality and how things are done while people are doing their laundry. How are you guys benefiting families being more efficient in the laundry?
Yeah, the laundry can be a crazy space. We'll go into a lot of laundry rooms and it's just a mess.
Needs a little bit of help.
Yeah.
And sounds like you've been to my house recently.
I was gonna say don't my laundry room, that's for sure. But it's the thing is we can customize these spaces, and the way we build them, they're adjustable. So sometimes you'll want us to build a laundry space, and you get all your stuff in there, you start moving around in there, and you want to kind of adjust some shelves up and down or move some things or maybe add some things. And the way we build allows for that adjustment.
Sure.
So it's been pretty cool to see.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, and I've just looked at
Please do. They're probably better than mine.
I've just looked at the website, but is a lot of what you guys are doing, or maybe even the hurdles you're trying to overcome, trying to make a space bigger without moving walls, essentially?
Yeah. More efficient, bigger. Absolutely. Feel more open.
Sure. Okay.
That's the whole thing.
Well, we're catching up with Matt Beers of Closet Factory of Omaha here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors. This is the question that when I wrote these out, I think I was most excited to hear the answer to.
Yikes.
When I hear wall beds, I think of black and white TV. I think of Lucio Ball and Ricky Arnaz in their beds, pulling them out of the wall. But you guys offer this service. Is this something that is kind of making a comeback?
Jimmy, I love it, man, because I didn't even know that Closet Factory did wall beds when we bought the company.
Sure. I didn't know anybody did wall beds, by the way.
Right? It was like a thing of the past, and it was gone. And just like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we did 3 wall beds in 1 week.
Wow.
So it is huge. I'm like shocked.
That's one way to get more space back.
It is. Absolutely. I think there's some factors there, but well, one of which is like this multi-generational living thing that's happening. We've got a lot of folks from different areas of the world that live here.
And probably wall beds in their part of the country or part of the world are probably a little more prevalent.
Yeah, they'll have, and also they'll have family come and stay for a month, 2 months, 3 months. Sometimes they'll say, we don't want too nice of a mattress here because we don't need them to stay that long. But it's
those things aren't cheap either.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. But it's a nice way to have that kind of multi-space area. And we can make them look pretty cool too.
Yeah, I saw that. It looked great.
Yeah.
The one thing that I took away from the website where I went, oh, that one's special. There was a fireplace, mantle, TV. There was a bar added to the right side of it with some closet space on the left side. And it was basically a load-bearing wall with a fireplace that had the TV and the mantle on it. And then 2 different options on the right side. When we talk about designs like that, and it stood out and it popped and it looked fantastic.
Yeah.
So kudos to you and your team.
Was that the wood? Was it a wood grain? Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. How much of that is your input? How much of that is the homeowner's input? How much of that is the designer's input? And how difficult is it to take all those moving parts and make it look that good?
Yeah, that's, the design a lot of times, most times, is homeowners and designers getting together and just letting their imagination run wild.
Sure.
And I love it and hate it all at the same time, because then they bring it back to me and the guys at the shop and they go, hey, this is going to be sweet. Now, how do you build it?
Excuse me.
And so we figure out, figure out
cool,
how to get
but
it
does
done.
it work? Right.
Right.
Yeah.
How do we make it work?
Yeah.
And sometimes those are difficult conversations because there's one thing I don't want to do. And I don't want to
tell people
my mouth make promises. Can't cash,
sure.
right?
This is a podcast. You can cuss. It's fine.
Oh, sweet. My butt.
You're not going to be able to break the F word record. We got something that holds that. We don't have enough time for you to break it.
Okay. Good.
But again, how much of that? How often are homeowners coming to you and saying, "It's yours. Tell me what we should do"? Is that something that happens often?
It does. I will say though, usually we want more input from the homeowners. It's like, help me help you. The more they can give us, so our designers are trained to ask more questions than provide answers.
Okay.
Because the types of questions and the amount of questions that we ask really make a difference in whether or not the space is designed exactly for what the client is thinking in their mind.
Probably more worried about what they don't want than what they do, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
We talked about our laundry room spaces, and you could probably relate to this one as well. You're also helping moms and dads get their children's areas more organized. How are you guys helping in kids' spaces as well?
Yeah, sure. The kids' spaces are fun because they love it too, and their faces light up. And I mean, who doesn't love when a kid's face lights up? Right.
Yeah. But that's why we do it, right?
Yeah, that's why we do it. Yeah. Exactly. I think the kids' spaces are really unique, and the adjustability thing is huge. And I guess if we're doing a little bit of marketing, like the business and everything, we can go from, you got little kids, right? And they're not going to fill up a whole ceiling full of clothes. You got like 2 feet of space between their cute little clothes and the floor.
It's because you guys don't have that third kid yet. Wait till if that ever happens,
they'll just throw.
You'll understand
they'll just throw shit in there. Yeah. So I did that cuss.
There you go. We got one, baby. Put it on the record.
Especially talking about the kids.
Sure. They'll make you do it.
But we can go. Okay, so they're let's say their clothes are only 20 inches, so we can do a triple hang.
Sure. And
just fit a whole bunch of stuff in there.
Right.
And then as they grow, we can adjust the closet rods and make it a double hang, and the homeowners can do that. It's an easy adjustment.
And adjust as they want to.
They can adjust as they want, or they can call us anytime and say, "Hey, I need more shelves in this unit."
That's an interesting thought. But I didn't think about that. How often? I mean, because I would think, hey, it's a project, it's done. Yeah. That one's in the books. We're probably not going to hear from them unless they move. Are you guys seeing a lot of repeat customers, or
way more than I thought?
Okay, because I would assume not a ton. Okay,
way more than I did not think of that at all. But it's like, hey, we need a few more shelves here, or I need you to edit the shelves in here, or it's, when we're there and we're in the closet because it's Closet Factory,
Right.
and they see our marketing collateral. They're like, wait, you do all these other things? So we will, it's over 20% of our business. Actually, it's like 21 or 22% is repeat business.
Wow.
Repeat and
that's
referral.
almost double where I thought it would be.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Now we're small, right?
Sure.
We haven't really done a ton of advertising. We're still trying to get the brand out there.
Sure.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. Happy to.
But and that's how I built my real estate business, was referrals and repeat.
Sure. At some businesses, you can absolutely do that, and that could be 50% of your business. But I think when you're talking about a franchise and getting brand awareness and things like that, and this is a conversation that I think is really interesting too. Like, when you've owned a previous business or done something else like you've done, and then you're moving to a franchise like this where it's maybe not in Omaha, or it's coming to Omaha for the first time.
Yeah.
How difficult has your adjustment personally been to, we've got to look at this differently than the real estate business, or is it similar enough to where you could say it's rinse and repeat?
Oh yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to marketing. just learning as I go.
Pixelfiremarketing.com.
Pixelfire Marketing. Yeah, I mean, asking a lot of questions, a lot of throwing stuff against the wall.
Sure.
We knew
that part fun of it. That part a little fun though.
I love it. Okay. It's a lot of fun. It's like in every aspect. I tell my guys and my gals, it's like, you're going to make mistakes, so just embrace it and learn from it. And that's what we're doing with marketing. We're just throwing stuff out there, and we're making mistakes, and we're learning, and just trying to do a little bit better each day.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get them to turn down the heat. Somebody just cranked up the heat next door. That's why it's getting really toasty in here.
You're good. Turn up the heat on.
Yeah, you're talking too much. That's what. No, I'm totally
lights. They're so bright.
When we talk about growth and getting in the door and getting the marketing going and making sure that people know who you are, getting repeat customers.
Yeah.
Next 2 to 3 years, where would you like to see Closet Factory of Omaha grow to?
Yeah. I mean, we want to double for sure. So
was that the original plan, or have you guys just seen that much growth?
That was not the original plan. But so much has changed from the original plan. So,
that never stops, by the way.
Oh my goodness, it's wild. What's been so cool is growing a sort of a family.
Sure.
It's a family business, and I want to grow our family, our team, our company. I want more people, because I think what we got is pretty special. I think we got a really good core
very
group
unique
of people.
design. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mind me asking about what we talked about before the camera went on with the growth and expansion?
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
So you guys
nothing's off the table.
Sure. I didn't want to put anything out there.
No
maybe
problem.
It's public. You guys are thinking about expanding into Lincoln and maybe making it a bigger footprint for you.
Well, we build in Lincoln.
Sure.
And so we
more of a presence in Lincoln, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. We want to have a bigger presence in Lincoln and surrounding areas, Council Bluffs. Really anything inside of a 1.5 to 2 hour drive from basically Southwest Omaha, that I-80 corridor. We could service those areas and do it well and still make it profitable.
Why Lincoln? It's close enough. You can be close enough to the business, still run it type thing.
Well, one of our designers, Amy, actually lives in Lincoln.
Okay.
And so we've been going to home shows in Lincoln, and there's a lot of building going on in Lincoln. There's a lot of great home builders in Lincoln. There's a lot of great people in Lincoln.
Ashland's expanding, Greenwood's growing. Yeah.
Ashland's crazy. We're doing a lot of work out there. Yeah. So, I think we have the ability to hit those areas, and we're getting calls from them.
That's a big deal.
Might as well start marketing.
The demand's there. Yeah, absolutely. And we're catching up with Matt Beers here of Closet Factory of Omaha on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors. You guys offer some custom items as well, walk-in closets and shoe closets, etc. Is there anything new coming to the, for lack of a better term, menu, or is there something that you guys would like to add that you don't have available yet?
Well, I guess a couple things I was thinking of. It's not new, but we do garages, garage storage. And there's all kinds of different products that we can add to, our base of products. Because garages, there's so many different things you can organize in there, tools and toys, and the walls and as well as cabinets, ceiling storage. So garages are a big one. I like my garage, so that's probably one of my favorite
Sure.
spaces. Um, we've been doing a lot of cool research. Well, we found a lot of cool things in our research on like wine rooms,
Oh,
bars.
okay.
You know,
Sure.
really like cool wine walls with really sleek and sexy, wine pegs where they look like they're floating and stuff like that.
Is the idea essentially we could do this in a small closet space? Let's try to go bigger type thing? That where that kind of idea comes from?
What do you mean?
Like when you, because like we mentioned earlier with the fireplace, there was the bar
Yeah,
next to it, and it
like
was,
what we're doing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
When we talk about growth, is hey, we could do this in a smaller space. Why aren't we doing it in a bigger space?
yeah.
Okay.
I think, we stop short of kitchens and bathrooms
Yeah.
because there's a lot of great people that are
A
amazing
lot
at
of
those
plumbing and
things.
electricity. Yeah.
And the plumbing and electricity, no,
Yeah.
thank you. Um, anything aside from that, yeah, like let us dig in, call us. We've been getting a lot of calls for like under the stairs stores, like what do we do
Oh,
there?
sure, sure.
We
Yeah.
got some cool ideas for that stuff. Entertainment centers. We built some pretty cool entertainment centers, like with lighting, the mood lighting.
Sure.
Like this guy here.
Yeah.
I mean, we could set something up that's embedded,
Okay.
sort of in our unit or in the wall. A lot of different ways to turn those things
We're looking
on.
at raising the budget in this room, so
Let's go.
we may look at that.
Let's build you something.
And again, we're catching up with Matt Beers of Closet Factory of Omaha here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors. I want to talk about the man, the family behind the business for a minute, because when you're leaving one industry, going into another, buying
Mhm.
a franchise, starting it from the ground up, 2 years is not a long time. We're not even at the 2 year mark.
Oh yeah,
But you're a husband, you're a father,
yeah.
you're working in the community. How do you take all of that, divide it up, and be able to balance your calendar?
Balance. That
Especially
doesn't.
when your wife's booking you to do podcaster.
She's yeah. Where are you, Shelby? No. Yeah. Well, first of all, Shelby has just like been instrumental. Like
Sure.
we have to do it together because it's there's so much, and
It's
it's
it's really incredible that in the conversations we're having in this room with family-owned businesses, or
yeah,
uh, pe- husbands, wives, or partners that are business owners together,
yeah.
it seems to be the other person is either 100% involved or 0% involved in just a very good support system. Uh, there's obviously difficulties when you have to take work home with you, right?
Oh yeah.
Is that something you guys struggle with, or is it kind of a blessing in disguise?
We have
I guess it could be both.
it's both
Okay.
because it was a real crazy struggle in the beginning. And so we had to kind of find our new path, our new, system for communication and, you know, doing the family stuff. I mean, we 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 have to be at the volleyball games, at the baseball games,
Yep.
at the plays, the events, and we don't miss those things.
Can't send one of the designers out to do that stuff. Yeah.
Can't do it, man. And so and at the same time, I have my longest week documented was when we built out our showroom. It's a small showroom, but it's mighty. It shows everything in there.
And it's located at
146th and Grover,
There you go.
14639 Grover. It's
Okay.
on our page.
All right.
But I knew it was going to be a long week, so I was like, okay, I'm going to see how many hours I work this week. And it was 104 hours in 1 week. And at one point, actually, it was probably 103 because at one point I laid down on the showroom floor at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and fell asleep as our
Sure.
service coordinator was listening to me sawing logs. But yeah, so I will say though, my kids still know my name,
Yeah.
so I think
How much
we're
do they
winning.
know about what mom and dad do?
A lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Big deal.
yeah, absolutely. We want to involve them. They come and clean the shop and take out the trash on the
And how old are they?
weekends. Avery is 12 and Mason is 8.
Okay, so they're old enough to kind of understand the
Yeah.
logistics behind
Mhm.
it.
Yep.
As well. We mentioned the importance of doing business in Omaha. What's your favorite thing about being able to do business where you grew up?
It's I think again, it's the people, it's the family, it's knowing every street that we go on.
Great point.
We get calls, with the real estate background. And if I'm fielding a call and they're like, oh, my address is such and such, and like, oh, that it's this neighborhood. I know somebody in there.
Yeah.
We've done a couple jobs in there. And also, you just know everybody. I mean,
Sure.
everybody in Omaha knows.
Or at least the landmark by where you're doing
Yeah.
the work.
Well, you
at.
can't go
Sure.
anywhere in this town
Right.
without knowing somebody if you've been around.
Agreed. When we talk about the future and the past and what you're doing now, what you were doing then. This is one of my favorite questions to ask people.
Okay.
We'll take real estate out of it.
Yeah.
If you weren't building closets and pantries and you weren't a real estate agent, what would you be doing?
Oh, shortstop for the Cubs.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Obviously.
Point guard for the Lakers or something.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What was the realization that when you got into real estate and when you left real estate and got into this business that were similar? Was there any moments where you chose those two paths where there was that aha moment for you? How similar were
The similarities, being in the home or the small business and just asking questions to figure out, what's your need? Like, what's your problem? What's your need? And how can what can I do to help fix it?
they? Sure.
That's the same. And I feel like, I don't know, I bet it's the same for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, what's your problem? How can I fix it?
Sure.
And can I fix it? I love that. I love that, sort of exploratory session where it's just communication. It's just people talking and trying to figure out how we can fix their problems.
Putting out fires.
Yeah.
We're kind of hitting the point of the day where we tend to shut her down. Is there anything about Closet Factory of Omaha that we haven't mentioned that people should know about?
I don't think so. We're good people. We care about people. We are not. This is not about money. It's about
Sure.
service.
We mentioned where the showroom is. Where can they find you online?
Closet Factory NEB, short for Nebraska.com. And we're big on Meta, so we're trying to grow that.
Yep.
Shelby's doing a great job. So Facebook, Instagram, just Closet. I think it's Closet Factory Omaha.
Okay.
I should know that.
Yep,
Closet Factory Omaha. Okay.
We'll tag them in this post too. So.
There you go. And LinkedIn. We're trying to get bigger on LinkedIn too.
We'll tag you there as well.
Yeah.
If somebody's out there, they're thinking about buying into a franchise for the first time or becoming an entrepreneur for the first time, what piece of advice do you give that person?
Get ready, strap in. It will be way harder than you think.
What was the longest work week? How many hours?
104 hours with 1 hour of sleep.
Prepare for a lot
during that 104.
Hey, Matt, I really appreciate you doing this. Thanks for taking time.
Thanks for having me, Kenny.
This is Matt Beers with Closet Factory of Omaha, soon to be Closet Factory of Nebraska, coming to hopefully a town in Nebraska near you. Check out the website. Check out all of their social media. If you want to morph or change the functionality of one of your rooms in their house, Matt and his crew would be more than happy to help you out. We actually have a special for you today. The snow kept us out of the podcast room yesterday. We have another guest coming in at 1 o'clock. We're going to talk to her about her business, how she's helping grow Omaha, and a whole lot more here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors. We'll see you at 1.
Double dip.